You reach the immigration counter and hand over your passport. The officer asks a few questions and everything is going fine. Then they ask something you did not expect. For a second, you understand the words, but you are not sure how to answer. That moment can make even simple English feel much harder. But the good news is that immigration questions are usually short and practical. Once you know the common patterns, the whole conversation starts to feel much more manageable. So in this episode, we are going to walk through the entire arrival process together. We will go from leaving the plane to immigration, baggage claim, customs, and finally walking out of the airport. Just follow the situation, and by the end, you will know what to expect, what to listen for, and how to respond with more confidence. Let us go back to the moment your plane lands. The seatbelt sign turns off and everyone starts reaching for their bags. You step off the plane and follow the signs toward immigration. Sometimes the signs say arrivals. Sometimes they say passport control or border control. You do not need to understand every sign in the airport. Just keep following the signs for arriving passengers. Eventually, you reach a large immigration area. There may be several lines for different types of travelers. You check the signs carefully and join the correct line. While you wait, you start thinking about the questions the officer might ask. That is completely normal. Most travelers feel a little more alert at this part of the trip. Then it is your turn. You walk up to the counter and hand over your passport. The officer may ask you to look at the camera. At some airports, they may also ask you to provide fingerprints. The exact process depends on the country and airport. Then the questions begin. One of the most common questions is the purpose of your visit. You may hear, "What is the purpose of your visit?" They want to know why you are entering the country. You might be visiting for tourism. You might be visiting family or friends. You might be traveling for business. The key is to answer simply and truthfully. You do not need a long explanation unless they ask for more detail. Next, the officer may ask how long you plan to stay. You may hear, "How long will you be staying?" You can answer with a number of days or weeks. They may also ask when you are leaving. You can give your planned departure date. Another common question is where you will be staying. You may hear, "Where will you be staying?" You can give the name of your hotel or the address where you will stay. If you are staying with family or friends, you can say that. The officer may ask whether you are traveling alone. You can simply say yes or explain who you are traveling with. They may ask whether this is your first time in the country. If you have visited before, you can say when you were there. If this is your first visit, a short answer is enough. Then you may hear a question that feels less predictable. The officer might ask what you do for work. For many learners, this question sounds easy until it arrives unexpectedly. You only need to give a simple description of your job. You do not need to explain your entire career. They may also ask what places you plan to visit. You can mention the main cities or activities on your trip. Another common question is whether you have a return or onward ticket. They want to know about your travel plans after this visit. You can say that you have a return ticket and give the date if needed. If the officer asks to see it, you can show the booking on your phone. Sometimes they may ask how much money you have available for the trip. Sometimes they may ask who paid for the trip. These questions can feel personal, but they are usually part of understanding your travel plans. Keep your answers short, clear, and honest. Now imagine that the officer asks something too quickly. You catch only half of the sentence. This is where many learners make the mistake of pretending they understood. You do not need to do that. It is completely fine to ask the officer to repeat the question. You can say that you are sorry and ask them to say it again. You can also ask them to speak a little more slowly. That is much better than guessing and giving the wrong answer. Sometimes repeating one key word can help too. If you think they asked about your hotel, you can repeat the word hotel and check. The goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to understand the question and give accurate information. After a few more questions, the officer finishes checking your passport. They may tell you that you are all set. They may simply hand your passport back and tell you to continue. That is your sign that the immigration part is finished. You take your passport and walk toward baggage claim. The atmosphere immediately feels a little more relaxed. Now you need to find your checked luggage. You look at the screens for your flight number. The screen tells you which baggage carousel to use. You walk to the carousel and wait. Suitcases begin coming out one by one. You watch carefully for yours. Sometimes your bag appears quickly. Sometimes you wait much longer than expected. Now imagine that most passengers have already collected their luggage, but your suitcase still has not appeared. Before you panic, check that you are waiting at the correct carousel. you can look at the screen again and confirm the flight number. If the bag still does not appear, you may need to speak with the baggage service desk. You can explain that your checked bag has not arrived. They may ask for your baggage tag or boarding pass. That small baggage receipt can be very useful, so keep it until you have your suitcase. The staff may check the system and tell you what to do next. Once you have your luggage, you continue toward customs. This is another part of the airport that can make travelers nervous. But customs and immigration are not exactly the same thing. Immigration focuses on you and your permission to enter. Customs focuses more on what you are bringing into the country. The exact rules are different from country to country. So before traveling, it is always important to check the official rules for your destination. At some airports, you may complete a declaration electronically. At others, you may answer questions in person. You may be asked whether you have anything to declare. This means whether you are carrying items that need to be reported. You may also be asked about food or other restricted items. If you are not sure whether something needs to be declared, it is better to ask rather than guess. Now imagine that you have some packaged food in your suitcase. You are not sure whether it is allowed. Instead of hiding it or hoping nobody asks, you decide to mention it. You explain that you have some packaged food and ask whether it needs to be declared. The officer may ask what kind of food it is. They may ask to see it. They may tell you whether you can bring it in or whether it must be left behind. The important thing is that you answered honestly and asked when you were unsure. Customs officers may also ask where you are coming from. They may ask how long you were away. They may ask whether everything in your luggage belongs to you. Again, the exact questions depend on the country and your situation. You do not need to memorize every possible question. It is much more useful to recognize the common ideas behind them. Who are you? Why are you here? How long are you staying? Where are you staying? What are you staying? Once those question patterns become familiar, the conversation becomes much easier to follow. Now imagine you have answered the final question. The officer tells you that you can continue. You pick up your suitcase and walk toward the exit. The automatic doors open and you finally enter the arrivals hall. The stressful part is over. You handled immigration, found your luggage, answered customs questions, and kept going even when you did not understand everything immediately. That is what real-life English is often like. You do not need perfect English. You need enough familiarity to stay calm, recognize the situation, and ask for clarification when you need it. The questions may sound intimidating at first, but once you know what to listen for, the whole process starts to feel much more manageable. If this episode made immigration and customs English feel a little less intimidating, come back anytime and listen again. The more familiar these questions become, the easier it will feel to understand what is being asked. If you would like more real-life English like this, stick around and subscribe. See you in the next episode.